Trent Dilfer, UAB head coach, went on the Rick and Bubba show, and he sent a stern warning to opposing coaches. He said, by the way, come try and get my guys. I dare you, Power Fives. I got a pretty big platform that I can step on, and if I find you in my kids' DMs, and if I find you talking to high school coaches about my kids, if you're in my roster, I'm going to call your ass out. I'm going to say it by name to the biggest voices in television today, and it's going to make College Game Day, and it's going to make SportsCenter. By the way, those guys running SportsCenter are still my friends. So go ahead. I dare you to jump into my roster. I told the AAC coaches the same thing. I said, why don't you guys have the you-know-whats to stand up and say, get out of my roster? I said, here's why. Because you want their job. I want this job. I don't want no power. I want this job. I want to live in Birmingham. I want to live downtown. I want to go see my grandson in Nashville. I don't want that other job, so I don't care if you blackball me. I want this job. I want the city of Birmingham to say, no, that's our city, that's our coach, so go ahead. I'm not scared of whoever the Grand Poobah of Poobahs to blackball me. Like, get out of my roster. These are my guys. I love these guys. Stay the hell out of it. Now, that was a lot, right? He was pretty fired up. I felt like I needed to read the whole thing just to give you proper context of the situation. How he sounded, what his emotions were. Do we really believe that he would not accept a bigger job? I mean, what if he does really, really well at UAB and, he ends up getting called by Tennessee, right? Birmingham to Nashville is about the same as Knoxville to Nashville. You telling me he wouldn't want more resources to be able to go win? Like, if your only aspirations are to be the UAB head coach, are we sure you're the right guy for UAB? But either way, the other part of this is it kind of sends a different signal than what he said, like 3 weeks ago? When he was talking to Andy Wittry from On3 about an NIL money at UAB? Now, he said on June 4th that schools like UAB should be using NIL money for retention, not going to try and buy new players. But here's the issue. So in that interview, he stated this: I'm not competing against Tulane and UTSA for retention. I'm competing against Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, etc. Right? That's who I'm competing against. So how can I say if they offer $400,000, do I need to even offer $50,000? Do you even try to retain that player? If you develop a player and he's good enough to make that type of money at a program that would be perceived up from us, economically for sure, well, as a player-centric coach, isn't it my job to encourage him to take that money if he doesn't hurt his chances of making generational wealth at the next level? And there lies the kicker. Those seem like two completely... It seems like he's contradicting himself. And in a span of 3 weeks. So 3 weeks ago, he's telling everybody, hey, if they can go make crazy NIL money at Georgia, Alabama, etc., somewhere that it's not going to hurt him getting developed for the next level, who am I to stand in the way? But at the same time, now, 3 weeks later, he's saying, y'all stay out of my roster. You're not coming to get my guys. Okay, what are you? Dilfer has never been a college coach at any level or any position. He was a high school coach just last season. So I know it's going to take some getting used to for him, but this feels like, somebody explained the tampering rules to him the night before, and he got all excited about it, and then he went to do a radio interview, and he started foaming at the mouth. Like, UAB is still attempting to figure out their place in the world of college football right now. The school did not even have a football program 7 years ago. And then they brought it back, and Bill Clark managed to win a couple of CUSA championships in the 6 seasons after they came back to life, but they're moving up to the AAC. That's a different animal. Like, what does college football even look like in a few years? Like, I would imagine that we're going to see less of this from Dilfer once he's actually had a chance to coach a game. But who knows? I mean, it feels like it just depends on the day what version of this guy you're going to get. It is absolutely wild. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter @GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.